Welcome back to the BTS Happy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Andrea. Joining me today is Morgan.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
This week, as you know, Map of the Soul tour tickets were on sale. So if you had the pre-sale, the Army membership pre-sale was
we hope
Wednesday.
You got tickets. Good luck. I mean, it's over now, but
yeah, the Ticketmaster pre-sale Thursday, and then the general sale was Friday. Hopefully
you got tickets if you
one
want
of those worked out for you.
Right, but even if you didn't get them, there's still stuff to be known, stuff to consider as you tread these waters of the secondary market. But we hope you got them on the first go around.
Yeah, that's a best case scenario.
Yeah.
So at this point, if you didn't get tickets, you'd have to go to StubHub or get
various secondary markets.
Yeah, buy it from someone.
Has a secondary market. There's a lot of them, mainly StubHub.
So Morgan, you got the Army membership.
I got the Army membership.
And
yes,
you ended
for
up,
the sole reason of buying these tickets.
And you ended up getting the code, which
I did get the code.
Apparently,
so I don't know how many people got the code, but I got it.
It seemed like almost
from
everybody.
My sample size of one, it's 100% of people who are Army membership, they got the code.
It seemed like almost everybody who had that got the code. Like I didn't see
heard?
a lot of comments of people who said
who were pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine that if you got the Army membership and you didn't get a code for this pre-sale, you would be very angry.
Yeah, I would see.
So you would see a lot of anger on Twitter.
Yeah.
You didn't see that?
No.
So probably everybody who was in the Army membership, the club, they got the code. That's my guess.
I think that was the safe thing for them to do. Just give everybody the code and then just, have everybody log in at the same time. And
well, there was language that said it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But I think that was just in case like a ton of people got membership at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to give out that many pre-sale codes for the first day. So that language exists just to safeguard, right?
Yeah.
In that case, maybe they don't want to give out that many codes.
In pre-sale, like not everything is open. Like you can only...
They don't want to open pre-sale. Like let's say, just hypothetically, 5 million people got the Army membership and wanted a pre-sale code for the first day. They probably don't want to give out 5 million pre-sale codes for the first day.
Right.
Because they want some tickets to be available to general public and the other pre-sales, right? It's a bad look for them to open those up and just say, nothing's available, sorry.
Yeah.
So they just have language in there to say it's not guaranteed. But since the number of Army pre-sale probably was reasonable, I think they probably just gave everybody a code.
I think they set the price at a point where not everybody just automatically bought it.
Right. Even though when you calculate it, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth it. If you want a BTS ticket, you should have gotten the Army membership, even if you don't find any other value in the Army membership, which I do not. I got an email, and apparently first of all, it was a very complicated process to even become BTS Army. It was a very complicated process.
Super complicated.
I had to download 2 apps. First of all, I don't know why I have to download 2 apps. I should have to download 0 apps. Why do I have to download 2 apps? Anyway, 2 apps, purchase something through one of the apps. The membership costs $30 nominally, but come to find out, there's $45 in shipping fees. I don't know why. I try to just say, I don't want, whatever you're shipping to me, I don't want it. But I couldn't do that, so whatever, ship it to me.
There's no opt-out.
Yeah, there's no opt-out. So whatever I'm set to receive, I guess I'll receive in the mail at some point. I believe it's almost nothing, but whatever. If any of you want it, you can have it. I don't care.
I tweeted at Weavers too, or WePly, and I was like, why don't you guys just send a bunch of these to a warehouse in California and then mail it from there? Then the shipping doesn't cost $43.
Why don't you just don't send whatever it is you're sending physically?
Yeah, they could have had that option too.
Because all I needed was the code that I got from the confirmation email, which I got instantly. That was the thing I needed for buying tickets.
That's all you wanted.
That's all I wanted and all I needed. That's what I got. So anyway, I got that code. And so if you're available for the 5th pre-sale, you were entitled to purchase 2 tickets to each show. That means each show, like let's say there's 2 shows in Santa Clara, you could purchase 2 tickets to each of those shows.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's actually a lot
That's a lot of tickets.
that
That's a lot of
you
tickets.
could get.
That's a lot of tickets. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna just purchase as many tickets that I'm allowed to purchase. Why not? We know these things are gonna, you can flip them. So I'm just gonna buy as much as I can. So come February 5th, I open up a ton of tabs. Okay, I have my pre-sale code. I open up a ton of tabs, and the show that we actually want to watch is Santa Clara, right?
Yeah.
Either Saturday or Sunday or both. So those tickets I may just end up keeping, but the other tickets realistically I probably would flip. But I'm just looking at them and I'm probably purchasing. Well, this is kids. This is one of the reasons why you want to have good credit. You can just purchase a bunch of stuff and leverage that to make money.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not about trying to be greedy and make money and all this stuff. It's kind of like you want to bring down the price of your own tickets by selling these other ones.
Yes, although that is, you could interpret that as greed, but whatever. It doesn't. The point is, I paid $70 for this right, and they said I'm playing by the rule. I am playing by the rules. They said you can buy 2 tickets for each show, so nobody's breaking rules. So I had all these tabs open. So we're talking about, and remember that the purchase windows were different for each time zone.
Yeah, it's the local time.
Right, it's the local time. So, like for instance, like DC and New York, they happen first.
3
Dallas
o'clock Eastern
second,
time.
and then our time zone last.
Yeah.
And as these time zones opened up, and I got in line. So if you have never been through this, basically when you go to Ticketmaster, you get in a line. Usually says there's this many people in front of you. Usually says 2,000.
2,000.
Whatever.
Then you see the man.
Yeah, you
walking.
see the man walking, and then once it's 0, you can purchase. That's how a pre-sale works on Ticketmaster. Well, I did it for every single location, and my intention at the beginning was to buy my allotted 2 tickets for every single location, and either we would. This is probably not going to happen, but either we would fly to go see them, or I would flip them. More realistically, I would just flip them, right? But what happened was some of these locations opened up, and I'm thinking specifically, and this is useful to listeners in case you haven't gotten tickets and you're still like looking for tickets on a secondary market like StubHub. This is useful information for you. Number one, you should always, if you're just looking for a cheaper price, you should always look for the second day. The second day is always cheaper. Like if they're playing Saturday and Sunday at a location, Sunday is always cheaper. Because think about it. Most people, they work Monday. They don't want to deal with a Sunday show.
Yeah.
They want to go on a Saturday, right? So most people are looking for that first. Sunday shows are always going to be a better deal. I found that myself. The Sunday tickets were always easier to get. The queue was faster,
Right. Better ones are available.
Yeah, better ones are available. When you resell them, they get less. So Sunday is just not as big of a show. And the other thing that I noticed, which gave me pause, and I ended up not buying tickets to every single location. Here's why. I noticed that the demand looked kind of soft in certain locations, namely Landover, Orlando, Atlanta, and even Dallas, which was surprising to me because I think Dallas is a very strong area.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that Dallas has 2 shows, and I don't think it just couldn't support that many, right? Toronto was strong. So basically I just bought Toronto, New York, LA, San Francisco. New York, LA, San Francisco, whenever I'm buying tickets and looking to flip them in the future, I always buy those locations. No questions asked, always, 100%. The reason being, people in New York, LA, and San Francisco make a lot of money. The median income is just very high. Whereas, I think about it, they have this ticket price structure that is the same throughout the country, which honestly makes no sense in a market sense, because New York, LA, San Francisco, the people who live there are able to pay so much more.
Yeah.
So
I expected it to cost more if you're buying tickets in LA
they
or
really
San
should
Francisco.
think about changing that policy. I don't know if it's possible on the artist's end or it's a company policy. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense from a free market perspective because the people in those areas are able to pay so much more. Those tickets really should cost more than Atlanta or Orlando or Landover, right? Or even Chicago.
Where's Landover?
Landover is DC, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's where the
okay.
Redskins play.
That's where like the actual area is called.
Yes. The stadium is in Landover, Maryland, but it is where the Redskins play, and it's where people from Washington, D.C., where they go.
Oh, okay.
So basically, when they say Landover, Maryland, it means Washington, D.C. is what that means.
Oh, okay. It's not like in actual District of Columbia.
No.
Okay.
And Virginia. I mean, there's plenty of people in Virginia who could make it to that location. But then, well, let's be real. And also, that location, I think, was on a Wednesday, right? Who's going on a Wednesday
Yeah,
to Landover?
that's
right?
tough.
Most people who are in the Eastern Seaboard area and want to see BTS, let's say they don't live close to either Landover or New York. Let's say they live in Philadelphia or Boston.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of people we're talking about, right? Philadelphia, Boston, Pittsburgh, New Jersey. This is tons of people. Which show are they going to target? Because they have to make a whole trip of it, by the way.
Yeah. They got to take a few days
Right.
to do this.
Right. They're not going to go in the middle of the week because they have work. People work. They're not going to go on a Sunday because they have work on Monday.
Yeah.
Which show are they going to target? They're going to target Saturday in New York.
Yeah.
New York, right? That show is going to have really high prices, really high demand. So, back to my point. If you're still on the secondary market and you're look to places like Landover, Orlando, Atlanta, and whenever you're just looking in general, look to the Sundays. You can get better prices. Yeah, the second day, you can often get better prices.
But not the second day of LA or San Francisco or New York, probably.
The second day of LA, it's still better.
Better, yeah.
But it's not great, right? Because LA, New York, San Francisco, the median income of the people there is so high that it just drives these prices up so far. It's
true, and it's like
astronomical.
When I see prices, like I accept whatever
Right.
it is. It's like,
Right.
oh, this sucks. This is our
Right.
area.
The amount of money people make in these areas is just really, really different than, let's say, Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to criticize Orlando or anything. It's a different economy.
No, it's like our cost of living is already higher, so
it's just a different place.
we deal with that anyway with everything else.
Right. So for those people, when they see tickets and they say, "Oh, tickets are $400, $500 on StubHub," they don't care. That's nothing to them. But for most of America, they look at a $400, $500 ticket and they think, "Wow, that's really expensive," and rightfully so. That is a lot of money for most people, right? But cost of living being what it is and incomes being what they are in these other areas, it just isn't a lot of money. And the fact that these tickets they're sort of the same price everywhere, it really messes up. The secondary market is just skewed because of this. So anyway, the point is, if you're looking for a good show, be willing to travel to places too. Because it may even make sense for you to go to one of these other locations, like on an off day, for a better seat, a cheaper seat. It may make sense to do that. And if you're like me and no, not if you're like me, because... Well, so what we got, so just letting everyone know what we got. We got the gold sound check package for Santa Clara and a cheaper ticket for Santa Clara. We're going to see them both days because we just feel like it.
Yeah, and then sound check on only one of those days.
Yeah. So we're going to be on, we're going to have the nice seat on one of those days and then just like a regular seat on the other day. But if you're looking to save money, and let's say you got the right to buy tickets, I would recommend buying tickets for as many locations as you can. Keep in mind, don't do this just blindly. Like if you see, like the reason why I didn't buy Dallas, I was totally all set on buying Dallas. But when I was in the actual screen to buy it, I noticed a ton of seats available. And I thought, is the demand for Dallas soft? And I thought, I think the demand for Dallas is soft. I didn't buy any because I need to resell these tickets immediately, right? Or not immediately, but in a timely fashion. I mean, I can afford to just hold on to them, but maybe you can't, right? You don't want to keep this charge on your credit card forever. So you can almost pay for some of your ticket, just, flipping other tickets. And I wouldn't feel guilty about it because it's according to the rules, they let you buy X amount of tickets, right?
Yeah.
So for us, we got Santa Clara Soundcheck and Santa Clara regular, and all the other tickets I bought, flip on StubHub. I've already flipped some of them, so it is what it is. But if you're looking for good prices, look at Landover, look at Orlando, look at Atlanta, and look at second days. Chicago, second day, etc. Dallas, second day. Hold on.
What did you think? What do you think of Toronto, or like, was that the only Canada one?
So for Toronto, I think Toronto is a pretty tight market. You know, Toronto is a gigantic city. It's like almost the size of New York. And there's plenty of Asians there. So I think that really shows. And also, they are playing in the Rogers Stadium, which has more limited seating than some of these other places. These other places they're playing are football stadiums.
Right.
So
What is Rogers Stadium?
max capacity for a football stadium is usually
60,000.
to 75,000. Rogers is baseball.
Oh.
Although one of the larger baseball parks, I think their max capacity is like 40,000. 40? Yeah. So anyway, it looked okay. I would say the demand is definitely higher than places like Atlanta or Orlando or Landover.
So you ended up not getting tickets for Toronto?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And well, obviously we're not going to Toronto. I'm just going to flip those. But, you know, that is what I recommend. If you are allotted the ability to buy these tickets, then just get them, you know, and it will just make your own tickets cheaper, essentially. If you can really, I think that if you wanted to see them at all, you should have paid the $70 to get that fan club thing.
It was worth
It was worth it just for the
amount.
tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I also did get an extra tab in Weverse. Is it Weverse or WePly?
Weverse, yeah.
These what does WePly for then?
WePly is for merch.
Okay.
Weverse is their
So I have an
social
extra
media.
I now have an extra tab in Weverse, even though I don't even go to Weverse.
Even though you're not even a BTS army.
No.
You have the
I mean, I like BTS, but then I don't go there. As far as I could see, when I click on that tab, it's just more pictures.
Yeah, you have a whole extra feed of like bonus like videos and pictures and stuff, which I didn't
Is
even
that-
know was part
that-
of it.
I mean, how valuable is that? I don't want to downplay other people who think it's valuable, but is it worth $70?
Well, that alone, maybe not. But
Yeah. But the ability to buy tickets was worth $70 to me. So I bought it. For sure. The ability to buy those tickets a day earlier than other people, for sure is worth it. I made it back instantly, by the way. I made it back instantly. So it is what it is.
Yeah, so just to compare, so BTS, you can get a pre-sale by doing the Army membership, or you could also have signed up on Ticketmaster to get the next day pre-sale.
Right, which you're
So-
not guaranteed of.
Yeah, so BTS did that, but like with Taylor Swift, she did a Ticketmaster verified fan pre-sale.
Where you had to prove you're a fan.
Yeah, you had to
by,
do a lot
like,
of work.
watching videos or whatever. But the easiest way to prove you're a fan, of course, is to buy merch and stuff,
Yeah, so
which we did.
that was part of the system of getting into her pre-sale. But then there's also other pre-sales sometimes where if you have like a Capital One credit card or Amex or
Yeah,
whatever, it
that's
depends
true.
what the artist
Right.
is endorsing.
Right.
So that's also another way to get into a pre-sale. You have to just pay attention to everything
Right.
that's going on.
Right.
So
Another thing I want to note is that BTS is growing. BTS is more popular. I have firsthand experience of where I can show that right now. Last year, when I bought secondhand tickets to their Rose Bowl performance.
yeah, Rose Bowl day one.
Rose Bowl, okay. So Rose Bowl, Section 5. I bought tickets. They cost about $400 something, 400 and change, right? 450, let's say. Kind of average Section 5 tickets. This is on StubHub, so this wasn't the face value. This was the real market value,
And
right?
those seats are in like the upper bowl kind of area.
Yeah, they weren't close or anything.
Yeah.
Right? They were kind of middling to far, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Section 5, I paid $450. This year, I purchased, coincidentally, I purchased Section 5 tickets for face value, face value was like $400, $440. And within 24 hours, I sold it for $900. Oh, not even $900. It was like I got $880 to $900. So the person who bought it paid like $1,100. So I paid $440 for these Section 5 bowl tickets last year. This year, somebody paid $1,100 for them. That is the growth of BTS's popularity. You thought they were big last year?
Right.
It is on a whole new level this year. People are paying like Taylor Swift prices.
Yeah. They're willing to pay
Yeah.
that. Like, you set it not at a low price. You
No,
set
I
it
didn't set it at a low price.
because you weren't trying to sell
I
it
wasn't
immediately.
trying to sell it immediately. I wasn't desperate at all because I have plenty of money and I have plenty of credit. I don't have to like sell it and it's like, oh no, what's gonna be on my credit card? Oh no, how will I pay? It's like that's fine. I can hold on to these tickets for months, right, and get a good price for them. I set it at a good price. Somebody bought it
And
immediately.
If you're on StubHub, it says, "Oh, that's a bargain price," or "Oh, you set it at a higher than average price." They tell you.
I usually set it higher than average. Yeah. So somebody bought higher than average price immediately. It was $1,100 for bowl five, and not like front row or anything. It was kind of like I paid
further out.
My face I paid 400 something and change. On the resale, the person who bought them for me paid 1,100. StubHub took their cut, and I got 900 after it. That's where BTS is at right now.
Yeah.
This is not front row tickets. This is not a pair of front row tickets. This is not field level. This is bowl. This is people sitting in like stadium seating. Okay.
Yeah.
Field. Oh, by the way, we got not front row, but we got second row tickets for Santa Clara. Just tell everybody that we got second row tickets. I'm really proud of that. I got in the line and I got it and was like, wow, second row tickets. I was trying to get front row, but then every single time I clicked on the two things and I said, yeah, I want to buy this front row ticket, it would say, those tickets are taken. Because it's that fast. It's that fast.
Has taken that.
Like people are buying it at the same time, right? So then I just like settle for the second row. It's like, okay, no, just give me the second row then.
But the advantage of you being in charge of this is you're fast. You have like the gaming skills of being able to click fast to things and decide.
Just so everybody knows, I'm a League of Legends player, so I have pretty good and quick mouse skills, so I can click on things really quickly. And also, it's on my credit card, so I have the right to make these decisions to spend all this money.
Well, and the other thing is like this pre-sale is happening at 3 p.m. It's like, okay, that's not real convenient if you have a job where you have to like do stuff.
And yes, and I don't want to like reveal too much about myself, but I have a really BS job where I don't really have to do anything and I can just kind of be on the internet all day. So I was able to devote the entire second half of my day on Wednesday to buying BTS tickets. I literally did no work. I just looked at my queues and just like had all these tabs open and just looking at the seating arrangements and things like that. Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, it just so happened like at your work this week, a lot of people weren't around.
Please don't mention that. This is starting to dox me. But anyway,
well, let's just say your work was very empty.
Even if it wasn't this week and all that stuff wasn't going on, I could still be a slacker and just like sort of do this stuff. So yeah, I was able to really hone in and just focus on buying BTS tickets.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate if you have a kind of job where you're like you have to work on a production floor or you're in a warehouse.
Yeah,
and
you can't do that.
You can't be at a computer.
I feel sorry for you guys.
It's like this sucks because it's like 3 p.m. You have to be at a computer right then.
So I feel bad for you guys, but I myself am a worthless, overpaid white-collar worker, and so I can do this sort of thing. I can just sort of look at the computer for a whole day and just buy tickets. And that's what I did. I made money from it. So I don't feel that bad. Now, I do feel a little bad No, I don't feel bad. Because think about it. The people who bought these tickets from me, they can afford it.
Yeah.
They can afford it. It's like people in San Francisco, LA, New York, who can immediately, they just spend $1,000 on a pair of tickets.
Exactly. Like high price tickets in San Francisco.
I don't feel bad for you guys.
Yeah.
Like basically, I don't feel bad for you. I know because you're me. You're basically me. You're basically just saying, well, if I want these tickets, that's it. It's $1,000, whatever. That's me. I wouldn't feel bad for myself. It's like, well, too bad. You weren't in the pre-sale, dude. So you got to buy them on StubHub. So I've been in their shoes. I've had to go on StubHub and buy those tickets.
Yeah.
So I really don't feel bad for them. Now, if you're on a budget and you don't have the money, I understand. But the good news for you is I did see a lot of the lower level tickets, like the cheapest tickets. I don't think they sold out. Mm-hmm. So I think if you correct me if I'm wrong, but the market was a little soft for them, especially in like Dallas, Atlanta, Landover. You could still get the cheapest tickets. and get it. It gets you in the door.
Yeah.
Hey, it gets you in the door, right? Is it the best ticket? No, but it gets you in the door. You know, this is purely the game of people who want to sit like in the front row.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
is the people that are trying to get sound check or
Right.
barricade or, those very close areas.
Right. And for me, I really need an aisle seat because I constantly need to go to the bathroom because I'm drinking constantly throughout every concert. And I need to rush to the bathroom, which, by the way, is a pain in the butt in any stadium concert because stadiums are large.
You have to run up this
Right.
long distance.
So when I'm in a stadium and I need to go to the bathroom, which is at least 4 times in a concert, I have to go a very, very long distance to get to a bathroom. Whereas if I'm in an arena, arenas, they're much smaller, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you don't have to go that far. Stadiums are much bigger than arenas.
Arenas, you just need to go all the way up the aisle and
You'll
then
go up the aisle
there you
and
go.
then you're right there. But then if you're on the field during a stadium show,
it's a distance.
you're running across the field and then you have to go up the aisle and it's a lot farther than you think. Let's just put it that way. The alternative is you don't have to drink. Like if I'm not drinking, how am I going to have fun?
Right.
That's my philosophy. If I'm not drinking, how am I having fun? I need to drink alcohol to have fun.
Yeah, I don't know what
That may make me an
what you guys
alcoholic. I don't care.
think. What is your philosophy on concerts? But I think drinks are good. Like maybe 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah, and I always pregame before a concert. I'm not so rich that I just want to throw money away. So if basically if you go to a concert sober, you're trying to throw money away, right? So I do drink before a concert. But once I'm at a concert, you're there for maybe 3 or 4 hours, right? At least 2.5 if you go late. But your buzz kind of wears off and you're thinking, I need another drink. Well, you got to get more drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those drinks are expensive. They're like Vegas price drinks, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, you don't care. You want to have fun. You're there. It's whatever. You got to go get a couple drinks. Well, that adds another trip.
Yeah, you got to walk
You got to
down the
walk.
aisle all the way
Right.
across the field.
And then you have to walk down back to your seat, to your date, with drinks that are in those small plastic cups.
They don't give you very much.
Those small plastic cups where it's filled to the brim.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I just paid you $20 for this goddamn drink. Can you at least give me a large plastic cup that won't slosh around
yeah,
and spill?
more than 8 ounces.
How much more does that larger cup cost?
It's like a little cup.
They give you a cup that is just enough to hold the drink that you requested. Why? Am I going to drink it all here in front of you? You know that I'm taking it back to a seat, right? No. They give it to me in the smallest possible cup.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
You've been to a stadium. They serve it to you in this little shallow
No, but
cup.
when there's sporting events, they have large cup sizes, but it's only at these concerts they want to give you a little tiny cup.
Right.
It's that's really inconvenient.
Right. Give it to me in a giant red cup. And you might say, oh, it looks ridiculous because there's only this little bit of liquid. And was I don't care. It doesn't spill. I'm happy. I can deal with it. Give me a big cup, please. And don't tell me that it cuts into your profit margin or whatever. You just charged me $20 for this drink.
Yeah.
How much extra is this large cup versus a small cup?
There's plenty of
3
profit.
cents? 3 cents? Oh my God. Give me a large cup, please. In fact, you know what? The next time I'm at a concert, I'm going to make a stink about it. And I'm going to insist. I'm going to say, hey, do you see that cup over there? Give it to me in that cup. Don't give it to me in this shallow ass cup. I think I deserve it. I paid $20 for this drink,
Well, I distinctly remember
which is just literally a screwdriver.
Rose Bowl had little tiny cups. Did Levi have the same size of
They all have the same size
Okay.
cups. They all have the same size little shallow cups. They all have that cup.
It's Big Hit, please fix this because
It's not on them.
Okay, some
It's
of
not
your
on them.
fans want to drink alcohol and not make multiple trips. We just want to make one trip and get
it's not up to Big
enough
Hit.
drinks.
It's not their decision.
Whoever
It's the venue.
decides.
It's the venue. But yeah, that is a ridiculous thing. So bottom line, we got our tickets. I hope you all got your tickets. This is going to be a great show. We're going to see Soundcheck Santa Clara, regular Santa Clara, We got front row seats. No, not front row seats. Row 2. Row 2. But that's almost as good.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. And especially when you consider that part of their stage kind of goes out into the middle section a little bit.
Yeah, like zigzags.
Yeah. So you're kind of in the middle of it still.
Yeah.
And so we got row 2 sound check.
If you want to get an army bomb and you don't have one, try to get that ahead of time. I think you could get that on the website.
Why? Isn't it just the same price?
It's the same price, but remember, like, that line is like a long line, or any merch line is a super long line.
Oh, right.
Like, try to avoid getting in those lines. Whatever you want, just try to get it ahead of time, because those lines are long.
Yeah, but it went quickly, that line, I remember.
The light stick line, it did go quickly, but it was like, we had to go in, and we had like limited time, so it was like lucky that it went fast.
Well, I hope that... Remember last time they had some installation where people could go in and like act like they were meeting the members on video?
Oh, yeah, it was like studio,
right.
BTS.
But it was only available to people who had the higher price tickets.
Yeah, special people. It was like closed to everybody. Well, I don't know what the issue was, but it was closed when we went. And I was like, what? Why can't we go to this? I just saw it on Twitter.
But this time we have the higher price ticket.
Yeah, maybe
we have the highest price ticket, so hopefully you can get in.
Maybe they'll do that again. Hopefully.
Right. Hopefully you can get in. So hopefully.
Good luck, everyone. Hope to see you there.
Right. Hey, if anybody is going to Santa Clara Saturday or Sunday, hit us up.
Yeah.
I'll buy you a drink.
A little tiny 8-ounce drink.
Oh, I'm not buying you a drink at the thing.
Oh,
We're gonna go to a bar.
Okay.
We're gonna go to a bar. No. Because you can go somewhere else and get way better, way cheaper drinks. Or can you? Santa Clara is such an expensive place to be. It's Silicon Valley, basically.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
If there's any listeners who is actually going to the same show that we are, and you want to see who podcasts the BTS Happy Hour,
yeah, and you want to get drinks with us or
anyone
whatever,
actually cares.
If you want free drinks, I'll get you them. Hit us up because we will be there at Santa Clara Saturday and Sunday. You know, Bay Area is our hometown, so it makes sense.
Yep. See you there. It'll be a good show.
So basically, just to reiterate, you're best trying to get tickets on the second days and on these locations where I think the demand is soft. But you could probably tell that yourself just by looking at the prices on StubHub. Yeah. You could probably tell which locations have
Use
soft
your judgment.
demand. Right. But even while in the pre-sale, the initial pre-sale, I could tell which locations were soft. So much so that I didn't buy tickets just to resell. Because I'm not really confident that those tickets will resell. I'm not saying BTS is not popular, but there's always a possibility that they're not quite as popular as people predicted they would be. And I feel like some of these locations, the demand is just not as robust as you might think. They may be overshot a little, not overshot, but the demand is not robust. There's not going to be there's not going to be a secondary market. Let's put it that way. But there's a healthy secondary market in other places, as we already know.
Thank you to our guest, Morgan. You can find BTS Happy Hour on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. New episodes weekly. Please comment, review, or rate on the podcast platform you're using. Follow us on Twitter @OurBTS. Until next time, this has been the BTS Happy Hour. Thanks for listening, and remember, make every hour a happy one.